Yes, this is going to be a short response to this YouTuber by the name of XDN Reacts. Yes, this is a response video to XDN Reacts. He did a video about Eminem, and in my honest opinion, XDN is correct. He is correct about Eminem. From the years of between the years of 1999 to 2003, Eminem was at the top of his game, which he was. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 2004, but definitely between the years of 99, from 1999 up until 2003, Eminem was at the top of his game. He really was one of the best to come out during that era. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to denigrate, Eminem. I respect him as a rapper. I respect his contribution towards the game of hip hop and rap. But to make Eminem as the greatest of all time, I'm talking about throughout the history of rap, no, he's not. He's not the greatest of all time when it comes to rap, when it comes to hip hop and rap. In my honest opinion, the greatest of all time, I'm not a dick rider or anything, but the greatest of all time when it comes to being a rapper is Tupac because of his impact to the world, and also Tupac influenced a generation of rappers. Hell, he even influenced Eminem. You know what I'm saying? He influenced rappers like Eminem and all these other rappers. You know what I'm saying? LL Cool J, Rakim. You know what I'm saying? All these dudes had no other choice but to respect Tupac. But you know what I'm saying? Here's the thing. Tupac was not the best lyricist. You know what I'm saying? He did not have the best flow. But what he had meaning to his words. He had truth to power. He make you feel his words, his lyrics. You know what I'm saying? He had an enormous amount of charisma. You know what I'm saying? That's what made him the greatest. Not just with charisma alone, but it's his heartfelt words and the way how he could be able to, influence the crowd of people with his words. You know what I'm saying? Because he had how can I put this, man? Tupac, in some ways, was a revolutionary. And he was to some degree because of his Black Panther roots. But at the same time, though, he was trying to convey that to the audience with his raps. Even though he kind of fell off the grid when it came to him joining Death Row and Suge Knight. But overall, Tupac, like the early years of Tupac before he joined Death Row, Tupac was a meaningful rapper. Even though I didn't, clearly understand the whole thug propaganda that he was pushing, but I understood the concept of it. You know what I'm saying? I understood what he was trying to do. I'll put it this way. I understood what he was trying to do. Even though I didn't agree with the whole thug propaganda that he was pushing, but I understand where he was coming from, especially as a young black male living in America. I understood that. But overall, Tupac was a huge pioneer. He really influenced the next generation of rappers. If it wasn't for Tupac, a lot of these rappers wouldn't be here right now because of his vision. You know what I'm saying? Because of his impact, his cultural impact. But going back to Eminem, man, he's not the greatest of all time. In my honest opinion, the greatest of all time is Tupac. And the only reason why Eminem is considered the best in these times is because the competition is weak. The competition is weak. So, of course, Eminem is going to be the best during this time. You know what I'm saying? Even though you got guys like, Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole, they cool and all, and Lupe Fiasco, he's cool too. But other than that, the competition is not tough. But I guarantee you, if the competition was tough as it was back in the late 80s, all throughout the 90s and early 2000s, I guarantee you, Eminem would not be in the top 10. He would not be considered the best during this time. If the competition, like the way how it is right now, if the competition was tough how it was back in the late 80s, all throughout the 90s and early 2000s, Eminem would not be in the top 10. He would not be the best. Because you would have had guys like Tupac, Biggie, Nas, DMX, Jay-Z, Scarface, Rakim, had all these other rappers that made up, LL Cool J, all these other rappers, what's his name? I can't think of their names right now, but all these other rappers who were solidified during that time. You know what I'm saying? Eminem wouldn't be able to break within the top 10 because the competition was tough, especially back in the 90s and early 2000s. But I say in the 90s. The competition was real tough back in the early, all throughout the 90s. So if the competition was like how it was back in the 90s, Eminem wouldn't be in the top 10. He would never be in the top 10. But overall, I respect XDN Reacts. You know what I'm saying? I respect his commentary. I respect his videos. And I just like to make a response to what he said about Eminem. And for the most part, I agree with XDN. You know what I'm saying? He's keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? And like I said before, I respect his videos and all that. So, XDN, keep up the good work. And that's all I got to say about that, man. That's all I got to say. So, yeah, man. So, I thank you so much and have a good day.